Are you too smart to succeed? See, I have a friend who has an IQ of 145 points, has degrees from two elite universities, but his startup failed within 18 months. At the same time, I have a client who is a college dropout and was able to scale to 8 figures in the same time frame. The difference is that the college dropout avoided what I call the intelligence trap that affects most smart founders, keeping them stuck, spinning their wheels and leading nowhere but to failure and burnout. This video is about how to identify the intelligence trap. What are the 2 skills you need to make sure you don't fall for it? And what is the specific protocol you can apply today to get out of it if you find yourself in it? This video is for you if you're constantly paralyzed by the sheer amount of options and thoughts running through your head that is preventing you from executing on what you know you need to do. Welcome back. I'm Castillo, founder of Selfmastered Performance Institute for Founders. I know that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and all the elite entrepreneurs are well renowned for their intelligence, but research shows that above an IQ of 120 points, there's no correlation between success and intelligence. In fact, they have found an inverse correlation between how much do you think, the technical term is the need for cognition, and how successful you are. In other words, the more you overthink every decision, the less successful you are. Becoming successful is finding the balance between making intelligent choices but not get trapped by them, by identifying the things you know you need to do without overthinking every step. Which leads me to the 2 main ways into high intelligence can derail your business career. One is through overcommitting. See, intelligent entrepreneurs can see a lot of things that average intelligent entrepreneurs cannot. They can contemplate so many avenues in order to get to where they want to go. So they end up overcommitting. They end up doing too many things in hopes that something will eventually work. And that is the first way in which they fall into the intelligence trap. Second way is overthinking. Is once they have, all of these avenues towards the goal, they start thinking in their head and ruminating what is the perfect solution to get where they want to go. They believe that it is through thinking that they will achieve the clarity they need in order to get where they want to go. And both overcommitting and overthinking are rooted in a very deep sense of fear of failure. At the root is their inability to deal with the possibility of failing. It is their need to protect their ego that is directing those choices. So the intelligence trap is just a smart way in which our mind fools us into thinking that we can avoid failure, when truth is failure is unavoidable. In fact, failure is literally the path towards success. Which leads me to the 2 core skills you absolutely need to avoid falling for the intelligence trap. The first one is prioritization. See, high performance really is all about filtering out everything that is not conducive to your results, filtering out suboptimal goals, filtering out suboptimal thoughts and emotions. It's all about applying a high performance filter to your life. So founders that avoid the intelligence trap, they learn to prioritize only what matters and commit to the thing that actually makes the most sense. And now I'm sure I'm hearing you now, but how do I know what is the most important thing? How do I know the thing that I should be focusing on? Well, this is simple. Business is chain related. You can only scale, you can only grow to the limit of your current system. So the bottleneck, the number 1 obstacle in your way is the thing that is limiting your growth. And at the same time, it is the signpost that is illuminating what should be the path forward. In other words, the obstacle is the way. So every effort that is not directed towards the number 1 obstacle is a waste of time. Let's say that you have not enough leads. Anything that you do outside of getting more leads is a waste of time if you're interested in growing your business. Or let's say that you have too many leads, but your delivery of your product is just suboptimal. Well, you must focus on delivering a better product, getting referrals from your product instead of doubling down on getting more leads and signing new clients that you're going to be offering a bad experience to. See, it's all about finding and committing to the bottleneck. That is how you solve overcommitting, by focusing on the thing that makes the most sense and only focusing on the thing that makes the most sense. Now, how do you deal with overthinking? See, overthinking is your mind's tendency to try to find the perfect solution in your head without really having the ability to achieve it. And you solve it by conscientiously reverse engineering the goal you want to achieve and then exposing yourself to micro failures. See, failure is the way in which you eventually become successful. You cannot devise the perfect solution in your head because reality is always going to be different from what you think it is. The map is never going to be the territory. So you solve this by exposing yourself to failure, by starting to execute fast and learning along the way. This is how you become successful. Elon Musk was successful on his 4th launch with SpaceX. Steve Jobs invented the Mac after dozens of prototypes that were unsuccessful. Every single elite product is a consequence of hundreds, if not thousands, of micro failures. So you solve overcommitting by prioritizing the bottleneck. You solve overthinking by launching fast, iterating, and consistently learning from your mistakes, right? So once you understand how to solve these two, now we're ready to the 4 tools that you can implement today that will get you out of the intelligence trap and into the realm of high performance. These 4 tools work together as a system. The first one prevents a strategic overthinking. The second tool provides tactical over-planning. Tool 3 prevents decision paralysis, and tool 4 prevents falling for perfectionism. So what is the first tool? The first tool is what I call a North Star, a vision, a 10-year plan that gives direction to your life. See, elite performers are not pushing every day to get things done, but instead they're pulled forward by a vision they wholeheartedly believe in, something that motivates them, that pulls them forward. So a vision is a #1 tool for high performance because it teaches you what is the thing that matters on a global scale. So 10-year vision is the first tool that you need, but it is not enough because a 10-year vision is not actionable. What is truly actionable is having a 90-day roadmap, something that you can execute every 3 months that targets the most important bottleneck right now in your business, the thing that is keeping you stuck. In other words, it is the collection of micro goals and systems and milestones along the way that you need to fulfill in order to solve the #1 bottleneck that is preventing you from getting to that vision. So let's assume that you want to have in 10 years a 9-figure company, and right now you're a 6-figure company and you're not getting enough leads. Well, the #1 bottleneck is a lack of leads. So the #1 objective for the next 90 days should be having a reliable lead acquisition system, a marketing system that gives you enough leads for you to scale. The third tool is what I call the focus maximizer. So it's a very simple thinking heuristic. When you are executing on your 90-day plan, lots of things are going to be coming at you, lots of decisions that you need to make, and you filter all of them through the focus maximizer. You do it in a very simple way. You ask yourself, is this aligned with me solving this bottleneck? Yes or no? And if it is not, you don't pay attention to it. You filter it out. Remember that high performance is mostly a filter. You filter out the things that are keeping you stuck in low performance. So every single decision, every single project, every single task, every single request for your attention gets filtered out if it doesn't align with your roadblock, with the #1 objective. And it gets filtered in if it's actually conducive to you getting your goals faster. And the fourth tool is giving yourself objective feedback every single day to learn from your micro failures as fast as possible. In other words, it's A/B testing your way towards solving that bottleneck. And the best way to do this is through an end of day report, which is a very simple report that you send yourself at the end of the day, telling you what did you learn from the day, what went right and what went wrong, and how to improve tomorrow. So let's say that you are building a lead acquisition system through Facebook ads. Well, you have to build a funnel and you have to write those ads and you have to, write a copy on the landing page and create a lead magnet and the VSL on all sorts of things. Well, every single day you tell yourself, you review the initiatives and the projects that you created for that funnel in order to A/B test it so that it eventually ends up working. So these are the 4 tools: North Star, 90-day plan, focus maximizer, and end of day reports. See, your intelligence is one of your biggest assets, but it can become a liability if you do not direct it to the right bottleneck. These 4 tools streamline your cognition and help you move forward faster. Remember that in business, done is better than perfect. Those who succeed are not those who overthink every move or overcommit to every priority, but rather those that can select what matters most, commit to it, and filter out everything that does not align with it. If you want to have the full blueprint on how to become an elite performer and master the right skills so you can reliably guarantee your success, check this video here. We'll show you everything you need to know in order to win. See you in the next video.